Going through trauma and relentless suffering is not easy. And of course, you have taken a lot of decisions in life from that pain, from that trauma, and all the blistering wounds, and you regret those decisions. You hate that you took those decisions that were way out of your character, but you also can't help it because you can't go back and change what has happened. And of course, you feel devastated for what has happened. You, of course, crib time and again as well that why did I do that? I wish I had done something else. I wish I didn't take those decisions. I wish I didn't walk that path. And I completely hear you and I completely feel you. And let me tell you, you are not alone in this. We all go through this. To err is human, to confess is divine. We all go through this. And it's a part and parcel of life to learn from our mistakes. And people make mistakes out of pain, out of wounds, being hurt, out of ignorance, from the gap of not knowing what's to be done and what's really going on in them, and confusing that with gut feelings and intuitions. And also because they get manipulated, people take advantage of that situation and shit happens. But just because shit has happened, it doesn't mean that you have to go on beating yourself up time and again and never allow yourself to be happy once more in your life. You deserve love. You deserve to be happy. You deserve love to find you again. You deserve your finances to accelerate up. You deserve to have good health. You deserve to have a long life. And you deserve everything to fall in place for you. And of course, it's not easy. Of course, there will be times when you will be like, I don't want anything to change. I would rather crib. I want to give up. I don't want to fight this anymore. And you really want to throw in the towel, and that's a part of the process. There will be moments when you just want to beat yourself up, crib, cry, and feel frustrated over what has happened, and hold on to the anger and pain and really feel devastated. And it's a part of the process. And as you go through that and retrospect and realize why you did what, understand the very many reasons why things have happened, you begin to realize why they have happened. You begin to come in terms with why you took those decisions, and eventually begins the path of forgiving yourself and realizing why you chose what, and choosing to see yourself differently through the lens of forgiveness, through the lens of compassion and love. And it's a process. There will be phases in your trauma healing journey when you cannot see others' fault, but you're only seeing your fault, and you're being highly self accountable and blaming yourself, taking it all upon yourself, feeling like you have made all the mistakes in the world. And there will also be days in your trauma healing journey when you realize that it wasn't all your fault. You can't bloody clap with one hand. Of course, others were equally responsible. You got manipulated, and there are aspects of others which are to be blamed. And in that process of retrospective, how others are to be blamed, how you are to be blamed, how the situation is to be blamed, how everything is to be blamed, you begin to realize the very many layers of why the very many things are happening. The perspective of others, what all possible trauma they could be coming from to take those decisions. The perspective of yourself, the perspective of situation, and because of the situation and collective awareness, how the situation was, how the overall awareness was, and based on that collective awareness, what was the provocative factor that made you take the decisions that you took. through all these series of retrospections, you finally come in terms with yourself to fucking realize that, damn, I deserve better. Damn, I deserve to be forgiven. Damn, everyone deserves to be forgiven and seen through the eyes of compassion, because it's perhaps nobody's fault. And in that pursuit, you begin to realize what trauma is, what the stored repressed wounds are, how the stored repressed wounds have shattered you into pieces, and through those realizations and reciprocations, you begin to truly come in terms and give yourself another chance to live again, be happy again, to find love again, to realize that you should be forgiven, you deserve to be forgiven, and you deserve a chance where life gets better for you again. You then start to begin to give yourself the second chance. You start to realize that whatever you have taken the decisions of were not completely because you wanted to take them, but there were other inner speculations going on, emotional wounds that were pressuring you. And through those realizations, finally, you realize that, okay, I can be more compassionate, I can be more self-loving, and perhaps I can start to realize what all I have been through, what all I have struggled with, the kind of havoc, pain I have been through, and thereby realize that, oh damn, I should be forgiven. Oh damn, I should start to see myself through the lens of compassion and kindness, because I so deserve it. I'm an amazing person, and no matter what I have been through, for that I don't deserve to beat myself up for life, because I deserve a second chance where life gets better again for me. Thank you, and love and light to you. If you love watching my videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and keep watching this channel.